This video is sponsored by Skillshare.
Hi friends, this is Carmen. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. My channel is all about cactus, succulents, and houseplants in an apartment setting. So if that's something that interests you, please make sure before you leave to hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a like if it gives you value. Today we're going to talk about string of succulents. String of pearls, string of bananas, any string that you can think of. Well, almost any. I don't have them all. But I'm going to show you the ones that I do have and how I take care of them, how I propagate them, and where I have them. So stay tuned and we'll get to it. Okay, so let's start off with the one that probably gives us plant parents the most trouble, the most frustration, and I don't know what time this is as far as how many times I've tried to grow this one, but so far so good. Knock on wood. This is my string of pearls, and I got it about 6 months ago in a little 2-inch pot. It's excuse me, it's in a 4-inch pot right now, and I have put one of the strands across the top there and secured it with a floral pin, and also secured this strand because all of this is off of one rooted strand, and I was afraid that it would pull off and you know, just come off. So I secured that, and I'm hoping that it will root more, give off more strands. I do have it in an east-facing window, and it gets bright indirect light. All of the care that I'm going to give you this video is pretty much the same for all of these. I treat all of these the same way. They get bright indirect light. All of them are in east-facing windows, either here in the plant room or in my living room. And this one here, the beads are coming in a little bit small, so I'm hoping that they'll get bigger as the sun shifts a little bit more and we get brighter light in here. I did have it hanging in a little container, but I saw the other day on Instagram, somebody had one of these and they put it in a picture like this, and they had it hanging like this, like it was a string of pearls. So I dug out this picture I had in my pantry, and I thought that was so cute. Isn't that a cute way to showcase it? So I got to figure out a way to hang this from up there so it looks like it's a water pitcher with a bunch of pearls coming out of it. So something fun. And you know me, I love using my vintage stuff that I already have on hand to display my plants too. So that's the string of pearls. Next one that's probably the most common is, I have two of these actually, a little one and a bigger one, is my Burrows Tail or Tonki's Tail. And this little one I got first. It's a 4-inch pot, and it's really giving off a lot of little growth there. You see all that? So even in the wintertime, it's giving off growth, and I'm looking forward to the spring when it gives off even more. But this one too. Now the little one's inside in my east-facing window. This one I've been keeping outside for right now. We have had some frost, temperatures getting down to 35 or below, probably about 2 or 3 nights. So when that happens, I do bring this one in and another one that I'm going to show you, because they can handle down to about 40, 45. Anything below that, it gets a little bit tough for them, and you risk you know, some frost damage. So if it gets that low, I will bring them inside. They don't get direct sunlight out there. They get bright indirect light because I have them protected by an umbrella out there. So there's no direct sun. Now last summer they were protected from direct sun, but it was so hot, the temperature, air temperature, that it burned a lot of them. So I'm going to keep an eye on them for that as far as you know, when it's 115 degrees during the day for like 10 days in a row, they don't like that. So I'll bring them in. But otherwise, they can be outside as long as you protect them from direct sunlight, and they'll be fine. Wintertime, if you get snow and stuff, bring them inside. Okay. And this one's growing really well too. Lots of little leaves. You know, these are very delicate as far as the leaves and everything. So, you know, taking them in and out of a hanging basket is tough, or repotting them. I haven't repotted this one yet. It's still in its nursery pot and nursery soil. This one I did repot, and the soil that I use for all of these succulents, or will be using for all of them, is the Tank's Green Stuff cacti and succulent mix. It's very chunky, lots of pumice in it, and my succulents that are in it seem to love it. Very free draining because they don't like to be sitting in you know, soggy soil. So something that's very chunky is what I would recommend. When the springtime hits, I'm going to be repotting this one and a couple other ones that are still in their nursery soil. Haven't done it because it's winter, just want to let them rest. But in the springtime, I will be repotting them. So that is my donkey's tail, a Burrows tail. I have 2 of those.
Now, this seems like the perfect time to take a little break and tell you about our sponsor of the video today, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. With thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people like you and me, they have tons of topics including illustration, design, photography, video, which I really enjoy, freelancing, and more. One of my favorite instructors right now is Nathaniel Drew. He has some great classes on creativity unleashed and how to be the most productive, creative person. Skillshare, you can find inspiration in the moment and learn how to express your creativity. And it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. They've been so kind as to offer the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description box. You'll get a free trial of premium membership so you can explore your creativity.
Okay, the other one that's outside with the donkey's tail. And this one you don't see a lot of, but I would highly recommend this one because it's just so unique. The pattern structure of it, the growth pattern rather. This is a string of buttons. It is a crassula, and it's just so unique. Once this gets big enough, you can see some of it is already going over the edge, but once it gets big enough, it will trail down in that pattern. But I just love the way that the leaves grow. Now this one feels a little bit heavy because I just watered it. Actually, I watered all of them since I had them down. They were all dry. I wait until they're completely dry before I soak them with some water. And I use filtered water for them. And that's the best way I found as far as watering them, because the easiest way to lose any of these is overwatering and root rot. So I wait and I wait until they're completely dry. This one I can tell by the weight of it, by looking at it. Since in the nursery soil, I've noticed that the soil kind of goes away from the edge of the pot, so I know it's real dry then. Or use a moisture meter or my finger if I'm not sure. But soak and dry is the method I use. Soak them all the way through it runs through, and then wait until they're completely dry. Wintertime, I wait a little bit longer than the summertime. So it depends on your particular situation and your environment. It may take longer than a week or 2 weeks for them to go completely dry, but that's the method I use and find that it seems to be working well with them. She came back in. Okay, so let me show you. I still have it in the hanging, so I want to be careful. careful with it. This is my string of bananas. And you'll notice that it is kind of less than what it used to be, because about 3 months ago, maybe 2, I had a bout with spider mites with my string of bananas and my string of dolphins. They were right next to each other. They're cousins. So, you know, they had to get the spider mites at the same time. So I treated them with the insecticidal soap, quarantined them, cut off any, you know, bad strands and stuff, and they seemed fine. But then I noticed that a lot of the little leaves started to dry up, shrivel, dry up, and die. The strands themselves were not dead, but the leaves were. So it was due to the spider mites, due to the treatment, I'm not sure. But I did lose some of them. Now the strands that had a bunch of dead ones did have it towards the end, real healthy ones. So here they are. I am propagating them to get some nice roots, but look, lots of wonderful strands that I will go back into this pot and refill it so it looks much more of a fuller plant. But it's doing fine now, no sign of any pests or anything, but spider mites is probably the only pest problem I've had with these particular plants, and so far it's only been on my string of bananas and string of dolphins. And so I am going to propagate these. They root really fast, and put them back into the pot here. You can see there's room there. And there's even some in here that are strands, that roots that are still alive that will grow. So I am not worried about the plant surviving and coming back. It's in good soil. It's in a good place. It's not going to go back outside. It's going to stay in here in the plant room in east facing window. Once those root, I'll put them back in and it'll be happy again. Now let me show you the other guy that got the spider mites. This is a little different story. I still have them in the macrame too. So this is my string of dolphins, kind of. You'll notice there are some dolphins there, but this plant is a hybrid, the string of dolphins, and I wrote it down here so I don't forget the name. It's a Senecio peregrinus, the string of dolphins, but it is a cross between string of pearls and the hot dog cactus, which is the Senecio articulatus. And I'll show you a picture here of that. That's what the cross is, the hybrid. The string of dolphins, if there's anything that I don't like about it, is that it has a tendency to revert back. The dolphins, new dolphins that are supposed to be coming out, don't come out as such. They come out as little leaves that look like the leaves from the hot dog cactus. And that is what has happened to this plant. I call it kind of a string of stingrays, and I actually kind of like it. You know, it's a pretty plant. It's, you know, nice trailing, and it's got pretty little leaves. Some dolphins there, you know, not many. I don't know if it's going to start giving off new dolphins. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I'm going to buy a new string of dolphins plant to replace this. If dolphins appear on this, wonderful. If they don't, I have a new version now. I have a string of stingrays now, and I like the plant. But that's probably the only thing that I don't like about this plant, is that it easily reverts back to one of its propagated plants, hybrid plants. So the string of dolphins, string of stingrays is right next to the string of bananas up there on my east-facing window. Like I said, I like the plant. It's pretty now with it. Okay, sorry about that. My battery died, so I think it was at the end of my talking to about this plant. So, like I said, I don't think I'm going to buy another string of dolphins. I'm just going to keep this one and enjoy this one. So, it's beautiful as it is. Okay, let's see. Now, this little guy, he may not be much, but he's mine. This is the string of hearts. And it's just got 4 little strands on it. I am going to be propagating this soon a couple of different ways. I think I'm going to put a strand, pin it down around the top, and then maybe cut the longer ones and propagate those in moss to get them rooted. But otherwise, it's doing okay. It's in the east-facing window. And it's growing. It came to me in a little tiny 2-inch pot. It wasn't, you know, trailing at all. It was all just up here. And that was about maybe 5 months ago. So, you know, for winter time, it's got a good amount of growth, I think. So, string of hearts. And this one, like I said, it follow all of the same cares as far as watering and the soil. This is in succulent, cacti and succulent mix. And it's doing great. It's loving life. I've got one more to show you that's not actually called a string of, but it has the growth pattern similar to it, and I kind of group it in that family and have it with the other ones. This is the cotyledon pendants, and you can see it almost resembles a Burrows tail, but the leaves are a little bit chunkier, and it's very dense, very bushy. This is still in the grower's pot and mix. I haven't repotted it. This is similar in nature as the Burrows tail, that these little guys fall off easily. So I'm hesitant to take them off. But these gives off such a beautiful bloom. And I'm hoping that this summer, this little guy blooms for me. They're a dangling bell-shaped orange flower that's just beautiful. And so I'm hoping it will give me that bloom this summer. But I treat it the same as the other string of plants as far as the watering and the care. If I do fertilize them, it is with the Miracle-Gro cacti and succulent mix. I just do a small dose of it in some water and fertilize them probably once a month during the growing season with that, if I remember to do that. And they seem to be fine with that. I don't put any little granules or anything like that in there. Just the water-soluble type of fertilizer is what I do. And, you know, they seem fine with it. I think they'd be okay without it, but I do that. So those are my string of plants, and you know, some of them are doing great. Some of them I'm surprised myself how well they're doing, and some of them are struggling but hanging in there. Like my string of bananas, poor guy. I've had him so long I don't want to lose him. So when he got spider mites, I was like, But I hope that these tips, these care tips, help you and inspire you to get some string of succulents, because they are really beautiful hanging and trailing plants. Thanks so much, friends. I appreciate your visiting with me today. If you enjoy this type of video, I have an aloe video that I'm going to put right up here that I think you'll like. If you're into succulents and cacti, you'll get some really good ideas from that aloe video. Have a blessed day, friends. I'll see you in the next video, and that one right up there. Bye-bye now.